Test. All right, please join me in welcoming Lexi Thompson to the interview area. Lexi is playing in her 14th straight Women's Open. Lexi, when I say that, what comes to mind?
It's pretty crazy to even think about being 25 and playing in my 14th. I've seen it all over my Instagram. I don't think I would have thought about it until everybody has said it, but it's just an honor to be here at U.S. Women's Open Championship, and it brings back a lot of great memories from being 12 and being at my first one.
Yeah, speaking of, there's 41 first-timers playing in their first Open this week. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give them? What about this week is different?
Well, it usually plays very long and very tough, so it's a mentally draining week, but that's as major championships always are. But you just have to take it one shot at a time. There'll be difficult shots out there and some bogeys, but you just have to continue with a positive attitude going to the next hole and know that you can birdie a few out there. But, my first U.S. Women's Open, I couldn't reach a lot of the fairways, so it's a lot different than I'm sure than a lot of these first-timers out here this year.
How has your preparation changed with the 2 golf courses?
It's been a lot different. We're not used to getting ready on 2 golf courses, so I played 18 full holes yesterday and Monday as well, and then just 9 holes today. So just making sure that I get both golf courses down, get my strategizing down, and where I want to leave shots and where the best putt is, because there's going to be a lot more mid to long irons coming into the greens, so you really have to think about just where you want to be putting from, and if you miss, where the best chip is.
Yeah, Lexi, we haven't seen you since Pelican. How have you prepared for this championship at home?
Yeah, I've changed a few things, but just same practice-wise. I've been working a lot on my short game and a lot of my putting, but just trying to get my ball striking consistently down, making sure my miss isn't too bad, but nothing different. I work extremely hard in my off weeks, so doing a lot of that and just making sure everything's consistent coming into this week, making sure my mid to long irons are good, and at the same driving it well, because there's a lot of drivers out here.
You have a new putter?
Yes.
How many times have you switched putters this year, and why did you pick this one?
I've switched a few this year, maybe 2 or 3. I don't really know, honestly. Just trying to find something that I'm very comfortable with, and I've never used a spider before. And I just figured with me, I think I'm better with a bit more of a mallet and reducing face rotation. So I've changed a little bit of my setup as well. So just trying to find something that I'm comfortable with, and I just feel my stroke's the best with that putter, I guess. So.
Can you talk about, obviously, Tim has to be a quick study, you for him.
Both ways,
Is it easier to change putters or caddies?
I don't know. Tim's great. He's used to a whole different player. I'm definitely a lot more simple, I guess, out on the golf course. I don't carry a yardage book, so I usually just ask for the pin number and where I should land it. And that's about it. I like to simplify things, but he's great out there, great personality, and we just feed off each other, and definitely a lot of laughs. Putter change is definitely difficult, but so is a caddy. I don't really know.
Can you talk a little? I know you share with Bryson the same agent, but just the process of pulling this together for right before the U.S. Open.
Yeah, honestly, well, my manager definitely helped with this decision and just working it out. I don't have a full-time caddy right now. My brother, Curtis, will caddy for me next week, and he caddied for me at the Pelican LPGA event. So it'll be a task just to find a full-time caddy once this year's done, but it's been kind of one of those years, But my manager helped with, my manager helped me getting Tim out here, and I guess he kind of jumped on the opportunity, and I'm just very thankful to have him out there with me.
How many shakes a day is he having you take? He's not going to try to turn you into Bryson, is he?
Oh no, gosh, I wouldn't fit in my skirts. But no, he did ask me. He's like, "Do I have to tell you? Like, do I have to give you your food and whatnot?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'll eat every 2 to 3 holes and do my own routine, so I'm good."
Mm-hmm. Apparently, it's only happened once in history where the same guy was on a bag for a women's and men's champion. That's kind of an interesting wrinkle. I'm sure you weren't thinking about that in any shape, form, or fashion, but it is kind of cool to have a guy with you who's just come off of, an extraordinary performance with the men's U.S. Open champion. Can you reflect on that a little?
Haven't really thought about it. I know people have said it, but he's just a great energy to have out there. Whether if you're playing good or bad, I feel like he's always going to be positive, and that's what I need by my side out there. Because in major championships there'll be some difficult shots and some bad ones, and it's just important to stay in it. But he just has a great energy out there, so I'm looking forward to starting tomorrow with him and see how it goes.
Well, if you,
Sorry, we're gonna let Brian jump in.
Yeah, just Lexi, along those lines, what are some of the elements that Tim brings, just from a technical sense of caddying that seem to jive well?
Well, first off, we get along with each other very well, so that's most importantly for me. Just getting me laughing, but of course having my numbers and everything. But the first day that we went out, he has all the green density, the air density, and has that all factored in. And it was unbelievable. The first 2 holes, he said it's going to play this number. And I trusted it, and I hit it so close, and it was a perfect number. But I'm like, maybe I should just have another, the actual pin number in my head, just for my sanity. But it's unbelievable, what he calculates. I'm truly amazed. I'm just just keep it to yourself and just tell me what you think the shot will play. But like I said, very talented, and just happy to have him out there helping me.
What are just some of the nuances in general, I guess, that you like or look for in a caddy? When you're out there?
Yeah, well, like I said, for me, I don't carry a yardage book, so I have a lot of trust in whoever's carrying my yardage book, doing all my numbers and everything. So there's a lot of trust involved, but at the same time, I feel like the caddy-player relationship is the most important thing out here. So personality for me, just to keep me laughing, in between shots, to have me talk about anything other than golf or the shot that I just hit, is key. And just to keep me relaxed. I've said it before, but I just want my best friend and somebody to be there for me by my side, and at the same time doing my numbers.
Do you have any golfing history in Houston area? Have you ever played here?
I'm sure I have.
Amateur, junior? No.
I know I played in the Spirit Golf Invitational. I don't know where that was exactly. It was at Whispering Pines. I don't know where that is in Texas, but but yeah, I remember that one.
And how is your mindset now compared to had you been here on the first week of June when it was supposed to be played? How are you feeling then? How are you feeling now? And have you, is this ultimately a good thing for you, or would it have been better to have played in June?
Honestly, I feel like conditions might have been a little different temperature-wise, but I think we're all just very grateful that we're able to play, and having the U.S. Women's Open Championship this year with the crazy year that it's been, we're just happy with any opportunity that we're able to tee it up.
2 questions. What did you do to your setup on your putting? You said you made some adjustments.
I just moved a little closer to the ball, and obviously I changed putters, so just getting a little bit more straighter back, straighter through.
You're typically playing with the men in Naples this week. How bummed were you that these overlapped?
Yeah, very bummed, but obviously this one beats the shootout and being in U.S. Women's Open Championship. But I definitely wish I was there playing with the guys. It's just an amazing event, so much fun, just being able to feel like I'm playing with my brothers and just joke around out there in a team event is always fun. But more important to be here and play against the best.
Lexi, even when you're feeling healthy, do you face the pre-tournament COVID test with a little bit of trepidation? And I asked that because Andrea Lee, who tested negative last week in Dallas, is in the bubble, comes here, and boom, positive test, and she's out. It just seems like it's a bit of a crapshoot.
Yeah. It is. I know coming into these 2 weeks, this past week or two that I was home, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in a bubble. I'm not taking the chance of testing positive coming in to the 2 most important weeks of the year. So I was definitely more careful, but you can only be so careful and still live a life and not stop. So especially with us, we're always outside and training, so we do what we can, but I don't know. Unfortunately, sometimes things happen for a reason. We don't really know why, but we do what we can.
All right. Well, thank you, Lexi. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.